Hard work pays off. Dreams come true. Bad times don't last, but bad guys do.
Hey yo, what's going on YouTube? Run Bad Life in the house today because it is cool to be the bad guy. That is what Razor Ramon taught us.
Do you respect the bad guy? You better, Chico.
Scott Hall, hell of a career, hell of a person. Unfortunately passed away last week just due to some medical complications that stem from a blood clot and then a heart attack. And it's a really shame to see because, you know, we all know Scott Hall as an amazing performer in the ring. Razor Ramon in the WWF in the early 90s was one of my absolute favorites. Him and Shawn Michaels' ladder match at Wrestlemania 10 was probably my jumping on point, what really got me hooked on wrestling. My grandpa always tried when I was young in the early 90s with Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage, and they were cool. But man, there was something about that ladder match, seeing that on VHS tape. There was something about that match that was it. That was the clicking point where I just said, like, this is awesome. Been a lifelong wrestling fan ever since. Scott Hall, hell of a person. We all know he battled his demons, you know, with alcohol and drug abuse in the, you know, during his wrestling career, and then afterwards overcame that and was able to teach the younger generation quite a bit. Man, what a person. So in honor of Scott Hall, in honor of Razor Ramon, we are ripping some WWE products, the final WWE products under the Topps license. Panini now taking over the license. The next WWE set that we rip on the channel will be Prizm, presumably dropping in April. We do not have a firm release date on that. We don't have a firm price either. Rumor is $900 to $1,000 a box. I'm still gonna rip it, but I think there's going to be a little sticker shock. We can talk about that in the future. But what we've seen with the wrestling market is absolutely exploding. Some very high-end sales of things like the Roman Reigns Superfractor, things like Vince McMahon autos, things like the Rock autos, stuff like the the 98 stuff. Everything just blowing up, especially gold refractors from Topps Chrome. So I decided, let's go ahead and rip the final two products under the flagship belt. We have women's division, which I've been told is the better of the two products. This auto checklist is very good. Includes Stephanie McMahon. She is obviously one of the big gets. One autograph guaranteed, 2 hits per box. As you may or may not know, if you're not a wrestling collector, the women's stuff typically does a little bit better than the men's stuff, unless it's a major superstar like Stone Cold Steve Austin or The Rock. Pretty much none of the new guys, unless it's like John Cena or Randy Orton or Roman. But then we have 2021 Topps Finest. This is the final release under Topps belt, and this is going to have 2 autographs. And this is pretty similar to the Finest that we do with baseball. They've got Shinsuke. They've got Damian Priest and Bianca all over these products. Bianca presumably going to win the belt back. We'll save the Finest for later. Bianca presumably going to win the belt at WrestleMania off of Becky Lynch.
All throughout this match. Oh, my goodness.
Now, I will say I'm more of an AEW fan. I've got the Punk shirt on. I've got the Elite hat. We've got Creepy Alexa. When's she coming back? And I hope she drops this gimmick because I'm not a fan of this gimmick. Yeah, as you guys know, I've talked about it a lot. I'm far more of an AEW fan these days. I appreciate how they present professional wrestling. I like professional wrestling. I don't necessarily like sports entertainment as much. Although, if you caught AEW Dynamite last week, you would know Chris Jericho is having himself a hell of a gimmick. Reformed, they're calling themselves sports entertainers. It is going to be great.
And that's entertainment.
So anyways, let's go ahead and open up some sports entertainment cards. I want to say thank you to everybody today for watching. Even if you do not necessarily like wrestling, I get it. We have a foil right there. So we're going to get a lot of base in this one, it looks like. So we'll kind of go through these a little bit quicker. Just some of the highlights from the women of WWE, of Raw, SmackDown, and it looks like NXT as well. NXT, of course, their Tuesday show. So we'll kind of go through these a little bit quick. Asuka right there. She'll be back after Mania. Rhea, who they're not doing a good job with. Lacey Evans, I think she's coming back this summer too. I'm never a fan of the in-ring action cards. I always, I'm never a fan of those. I do like just the standard. I like the standard just posed cards, Charlotte defeats Asuka. We have Io winning the ladders match. That was awesome. Yeah, Alexa, not a fan of Alexa's old gimmick with... Basically, she stole Bray Wyatt's gimmick, and not necessarily a fan of that.
Yowie wowie!
Would much rather like to see her go back to being... like Little Miss Bliss or whatever she was doing prior to that. Our first hit is going to be a Dakota Kai matte relic. It's pretty cool. She is from NXT. That is 7 of 75. She's from NXT. Not really doing too much down there. They have a lot of talent in NXT right now. And if you're a wrestling fan, you know that NXT is really in a weird spot right now where they're trying to rebrand it as fully developmental. They got rid of a lot of the older people on the roster. And they decided to keep some, so it's a weird blend right now. It's a very weird blend. Toni Storm, she is no longer with the company. A lot of people we're going to see no longer with the company. Io Shirai, the worst name change. They always have to change these girls' names. This is Piper Niven. This is not Dewdrop. It's such a terrible name. That one upsets me. I think the most. Of all the dumb name changes, they tried to change Keith Lee's name a bunch. None of them ever work out. They really don't. I don't even know who that is. Elise Ashton. Yeah, I don't know. Natalia, who's been there forever. Ember Moon. Hopefully she'll show up in AEW. A lot of cards in the women's division box. So if you like a lot of cards, if you like putting together a set, this one's probably your jam. Charlotte over Asuka. When was that? In 2020. So that was Performance Center when there was no crowds. Kavita Devi. I have no clue who that is. Which is funny, because I watch a lot of pro wrestling, and to see somebody I don't know, it's always, that throws me off, especially in a WWE product. So, a lot of these seem to be highlights from there's our auto. That's such a bad auto.
What the hell?
Sarah Schreiber is our auto. She's a backstage host, 35 of 99. So, she is a backstage host. I would love to actually get a wrestler, but... Hey, I guess we'll take a Sarah Schreiber on card. And if I'm going to say something nice, I'm going to say she has a pretty nice autograph compared to what we're seeing out of these NBA and NFL players in these recent products that we're ripping. She actually took some time. It's not just 2 initials, right? We'll keep on ripping. Hopefully we can see a 101 from this box. I think Finest is probably going to be the better box. Toni Storm on the, I think those are rainbow foils. Lacey Evans. I'm curious, I didn't do my due diligence. I didn't look to see how big this set is, but with as many cards as you're getting per box, unless this is like a 400 card set, a single box is probably going to get you pretty close to a full set. Gigi Dolan, she is going to be an absolute superstar in years to come. Doing that thing with Toxic Attraction down in NXT with Mandy Rose and JC Jane, I believe, but I think Gigi is going to be the one to break out from that group. NXT does have a lot of good young talent, a lot of good young characters down there. Candice LeRae, I think her time is done. See, Knox. Her name is actually Tegan Knox. So, I think of the new NXT is so weird. There's some high spots, there's some bright spots. The real one to me is probably the women's division down there. They do have some cool characters. They're doing some interesting things. I just saw Nikita Lyons. I like her gimmick a lot. She has a look like no other superstar in WWE, or no other woman. Saray, I like what they're doing with her, kind of a transformation gimmick. Natalia on the die cut right there. So I do like some aspects of the new NXT, and others I don't. I'm really, we have Dolph Ziggler as the current NXT champion. The dude's 42 years old, so I don't know what they're trying to do there.
Why do you still do it? Why are you still here? Why do you subject yourself to this every night?
I really like Braun Breaker. I did think that they gave him the title a little bit too early. We have a purple to 99. That's going to be Rhea and Shotzi. Shotzi Blackheart. Now they just call her Shotzi. Kaden Carter. We've got the Queen, Charlotte Flair. And, I'm not necessarily excited about Charlotte and Ronda at Mania. I just don't think they needed Ronda. I think they could have did so much better stuff. I was really hoping that Liv Morgan, who I like Sonya. I like what they're doing with Sonya, but I really wish they would have did something with Liv Morgan getting her shot. And, you know, they teased it all winter long about her being the underdog, about her eventually getting her chance, and I don't know what she's doing for WrestleMania, if anything at all. Got Carmella, probably going to be involved in that women's tag match, actually. Probably. Aaliyah, Frankie Monet, no longer with the company. I might have missed some parallels, so I'll have to go back through. I don't think I did. I don't think I missed anything numbered, but I'll go back through at the end. You guys can drop a comment if I did miss something. Again, this is the first time that I've ever opened a women's division box. We got Bayley. She'll be back soon, hopefully. Scarlett, no longer with the company. That was the auto that we were hoping to get, Steph. But, yeah, I think this product, a lot of people were telling me there's a lot of good value in this product with, you know, with Stephanie McMahon autos, with Sasha. Pretty much all the top women stars are in this one. Rhea versus Raquel. A lot of the checklist is stacked simply because, you know, this is one of Topps' final products, so they're going to have a lot of sticker autos left over. So it seems like between this and Finest, they kind of emptied the tank with a really good crop of autographs. We have Marlena, aka Terry Runnels, throwback name right there. Raquel, Becky defeats Sasha. That's a cool card. A lot of cards in this one. So if you want to just have a lot of cards, I think these boxes are like $80 or something. They're not even that expensive. Carmella. We have a mixed tag match with Candice and Johnny Gargano. Interested to see where Gargano maybe ends up. We were expecting AEW, but, you know, he is a new father. They just had a baby, so maybe he's just going to take some extended time off, and good for him for not thinking that he has to get back out on the road right away. Tony Storm, Alexa Bliss, and Marlena again, so we're getting duplicates. Liv Morgan on the die cut. The Golden Role Models. I don't even remember that from 2020. I don't even know that was their name. Alexa falls into a trance. Hopefully she doesn't come back in a trance. We've got Alexa and Lacey. Yeah, we're getting a lot of duplicates, I'm noticing. A lot of duplicates. I'm actually excited to get into the Finest. I was a little disappointed by our auto in that box. Again, with such a good checklist to get somebody who's not even an active wrestler. Kind of sucked. Caleb Braxton, Bliss. Yeah, we're getting duplicates at this point. Maybe we'll get a bonus auto. We'll see. I'm over looking at creepy Alexa on the cover. We've got Dakota Kai and Io Shirai. Yeah, we've seen these two cards like 3 times now. I feel like we just keep getting the same base cards at the end of the pack over and over and over. Am I just wrong? Am I just dumb? Maybe. All right. Wrapping it. Yeah, we've seen all these. We haven't seen that one. Nia, no longer with the company, and Bianca Belair. Okay. Got a little repetitive towards the end right there. I think I have FedEx here. Hopefully we can get through this without them ringing the doorbell. 2021 Finest, the final WWE product before it crosses over to Panini. We are going to get 2 Chrome autographs, 1 in each mini box. So again, this is a little bit more expensive, coming in at about $125 a box. And again, the cards are going to be more premium. They are on a brand that you probably recognize from baseball. You know, Finest has been a perennial since '93, I want to say. So this is a product that's almost 30 years old. It's a line that's almost 30 years old. And we've seen this design before. So I think this is the same design as baseball, I believe. Yeah, it's the same design as baseball this year. So it's a design that we're familiar with. It's a product that we're familiar with. Looks a lot better, too, than women's division. So we have Nikki A.S.H. Hulk Hogan going to be on the refractor. That's pretty cool. I think that's a Survivor Series insert. Finn Balor, and then Shotzi. There we go. There's just Shotzi. They always like to just change their names up. I don't get it. I don't get it. We have an orange in here. This could be really good. Who do we got on the orange? Oh, this could be really good. That's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty happy with that auto. Not only does it have Carmella on it, it also has Miss Elizabeth, rest in peace. And that's going to be a Carmelo to 25. I really, really like what she's doing in the WWE lately. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch. I've heard that her show on YouTube with Corey is very cringeworthy. But yeah, Carmelo to 25, our first auto, pretty good, and that's going to be an orange with Miss Elizabeth on there. That's awesome. We have Austin Theory. He has a match with Pat McAfee at WrestleMania. Swerve, who is now with AEW, and Ciampa as well. So yeah, I'm excited to see that McAfee versus Theory match. I have a feeling that Vince McMahon's going to get involved. That's the rumor, that Vince will get involved. I think we have gold. We have Asuka. We have gold of Apollo Crews. I don't really know what he's got going on this year for WrestleMania. Haven't been able to catch as many SmackDowns as I'd like. But Apollo to 50 is our color. We have now known as Butch, the absolute worst. Dewdrop and Butch were the two worst name changes. This one broke me. Butch. They changed him from Pete Dunne, an awesome name, an awesome wrestler. We've been watching him for years in WWE NXT. Now he's Butch. And The Miz. I don't get it. Vince McMahon always has to tinker with names. Always got to ruin things. We have Montez Ford, Sami Zayn, who has a match with Johnny Knoxville at WrestleMania. Rick Rude, the uncrowned greatness. Yeah, Rick Rude right there. Rest in peace. We've got Riddle. He'll be in a tag match with RKO, or with Randy Orton. That'll be good at Mania. A lot of people expected them to actually have a match against each other. There was an expectation they would feud, but still a tag team. We have Adam Cole now with AEW. James Drake. We've got Raquel Gonzalez on the refractor. We actually saw that in the women's division. Same picture. Dana Brooke and Alexa Bliss. So we will sleeve up that refractor. And final pack here in mini box number 1. See if we can see a second color, maybe. We have Roddy, John Cena right there. I'd love to see Cena do something at Mania. Legacies, Paul Heyman with Bobby the Brain Heenan, one of the greatest, two of the greatest to ever do it. I mean, both of these guys just masters on the mic, especially Heenan. Heenan would be so great if we had Heenan as a commentator in like AEW, or just even if Heenan was just around, dude. That not just a brilliant mind for wrestling, just a funny dude in life. You ever go back and listen to any of his old interviews and things like that. All right, final pack. A little bit longer of a video today. I want to thank you for joining me. See what this final auto is. I'm not even sure who it is. I don't even care, because that Carmelo auto was pretty awesome, not going to lie. Robert Roode, Titus O'Neil. We have Rumble Pops of Goldberg. I think he's done. I think he's done with WWE. I think he finished up his obligation. Drake Maverick and the boss, Sasha Banks. Got Mr. Randall Keith Orton. That's going to be Jerry Lawler. That's actually pretty cool. I'll take a Jerry Lawler auto. Uncrowned Greatness, Jerry Lawler, our second auto in the box. So making up for those Sarah Schreiber autos for sure. Jerry the King Lawler, Uncrowned Greatness. We have a refractor of Zach Gibson. Oh, we got Otis. Oh my gosh, that's not. I liked his old gimmick. I kind of like his new gimmick. This dude has a crazy gimmick going into Mania. He's now a heel. Edge, who's, has some acting experience. He's great. Edge is great at everything he does. We've got Naomi, Humberto Carrillo. There is our Undertaker tribute card. We'll see if he does anything at Mania in Texas. I have to think an appearance will happen. Indy Hartwell, rookie, and Timothy Thatcher. Can't remember if Thatcher's still even with the company. They might have let him go. Him and Ciampa did a lot of great stuff together last year. I don't know if he's hurt or if he's released or what. They released so many people, I don't know. Akira Tozawa, Tegan Knox. Uncrowned Greatness, the Junkyard Dog, JYD. Love it. Cedric Alexander and Jeff Hardy, now with AEW. Just had his debut tag match with his brother, and that was a pretty good match against Private Party. I really liked it. Toni Storm, I think she I probably shouldn't say that, but I think she now has an OF. Austin Theory, T-Bar. Yeah, again with the name changes. This dude is T-Bar. This was Dominic Dijakovic in NXT. Awesome name in NXT, and now it's T-Bar. Yeah, I can't see him making it in WWE throughout the rest of the year. R-Truth, who I absolutely love, and Angelo Dawkins. All right, this is going to be our final pack. We should see some color in here. We have not seen any color in this part of the mini box yet, so I'd imagine... maybe not. Raquel, again, another Raquel. Zach Gibson. Legacies, Rhea Ripley and Beth Phoenix. Yeah, that's a good legacy right there to follow in Beth's footsteps. I do think they're dropping the ball with Rhea a little bit. She should be an absolute superstar. Liv Morgan, they are also dropping the ball with her and Seth freaking Rollins, who... The rumor is Seth versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. I guess we'll just have to see. Overall, though, that finest box, I did enjoy that. The women's division didn't come through for us, but we did have the uncrowned greatness of Jerry Lawler. We had the Raquel Gonzalez refractor, the Apollo to 50, finest of Hulk Hogan. That's a Survivor Series, I think. Our auto was Carmella to 25, very nice. And then women's division didn't really come through with the Sarah Schreiber, who is a guest comment or not a guest commentator, a backstage host. Overall, though, it was fun to rip some WWE, the final 2 WWE products under Topps' flagship belt before we switch over to Panini. So again, our next product. I say and again so many times in these damn videos. I'm sorry. I noticed that while I was editing yesterday's video or last week's video. Anyways, we will be doing Prizm in probably a few weeks. I'm excited for Mania. I'm excited for AEW every week. Either way, whether or not you agree with me that WWE's product is really, really not very good right now. WrestleMania, there's always something about it that makes it memorable. And it's a 2-night event, so we get a great 2 nights of entertainment at the very least. They always come through for WrestleMania. The other 11 and a half months out of the year have been bad lately. That is going to do it for me today. If you're not a wrestling fan, but you watched it, enjoy. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you next time on Down the Road.